thought I would go ahead and tell you a little bit about my experience getting sexually assaulted by a former Olympic gymnastics coach. This is very, very uncomfortable for me to talk about. That's why I'm in a car, because that's where I feel like really safe. I don't know. I don't even know where to begin, really. I guess I can start from the first time I went there. Everything seemed normal and to be going really, really well. Then the pandemic hit. Right after the pandemic, that's when things started taking a spiral. As you guys know, the Olympics got postponed. I just keep thinking to myself, well, maybe if the Olympics were in 2020, maybe I wouldn't have been there to get sexually assaulted by this former coach. It was just a really horrible experience. I should start from the beginning. After coming back from the pandemic, I started coaching more because I asked for more hours. Every day at the gym, I'd come in, put my stuff down, I'd just clean the gym literally from head to toe. I started noticing that this coach in particular would stay there in the hours that he wasn't really supposed to be there. I mean, it was his gym, so he could technically be there whenever he wanted to be. I don't know how to explain it. He just wasn't supposed to be there during the times that I was there, really. Again, he owned the gym, and he made that very, very clear when I quit. I'm not even gonna lie, I was flirty towards him. And he started becoming flirty back towards me. That was definitely my biggest downfall, just admiring this former Olympic gymnastics coach who literally coached the best of the best. I think I just fell for his antics. One time at the gym, he asked me, we were just flirting back and forth, and he said something oh, well, I want to see the pics in your phone, what do you got in there? Just kind of hinting towards that. We talked about our social medias, Snapchat and all of that. So I added him, and he added me back quickly. He sent me a snap of him saying, oh, look, here comes trouble. It seemed like he had experience doing that a lot. At the time, it just flew over my head. It's just hard to talk about. It's hard because I know I'm a victim. However, knowing what led into that and how I was flirty back, that really is out of my character. So we snapped back and forth. This kind of got really flirty really fast. I unadded him because I think it was just getting way too far. This is the time I got sexually assaulted. It was in his office. He decided to slap my ass and touch me on my crotch and feel up my boobs, and it was very, 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 very uncomfortable. And I think at the time I was just wow, this coach, he's really admiring me and just thinks I'm a good coach. I didn't really register that I was being sexually assaulted. But then I can't remember if it's in that same day or if it was afterwards. He actually hit me. He helped me up. He didn't really ask me if I was okay. Soon after that, things started becoming really, really, really weird. After I got sexually assaulted, he started acting different towards me. Just in so many ways. He started pretty much ignoring me. He got almost everyone at the gym to ignore me. On the phone, he said to me, no one's gonna believe you, and that there's no evidence. So he was pretty confident about that. Then things just started getting worse and worse. I put in my 2 weeks, and I was you know what, actually, I'm just gonna quit because this environment is very uncomfortable for me. and I'm not going to partake in whatever activity is going on here. I did not necessarily bring up the fact that I was sexually assaulted to my other manager, or like other boss, which was my downfall. That was where I went wrong, and I've just never been in that situation before. So I think that was a perfect opportunity for him to take advantage of me. This person was also the co-owner. I just kind of felt like if I brought up that to the co-owner, then like I would get in trouble somehow, and that I just wouldn't be believed. I didn't bring that up to my other co-owner, which I should have. I told him like a slight version of the truth, just because I was so nervous and just very embarrassed. Once I quit, things started getting a little bit out of hand. I didn't really know how to control my emotions. I started posting everywhere, like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, that like, hey, listen to me. Like, I got sexually assaulted at a job where I felt safe at the time, and then literally 2 seconds later felt the most unsafe I could feel. Afterwards, he blocked me everywhere. Yeah, he pretty much blocked me everywhere, which I figured was gonna happen just because he was trying to save his ass. I went through the commission to see what I could do. I mentioned this briefly in my previous video, and pretty much they sent me 2 letters saying that the case was dismissed, there wasn't enough evidence, and pretty much that I'm shit out of luck. I kind of had a feeling that nothing would get resolved, just because I've heard so many stories of girls and men, women and men, getting sexually assaulted daily, and no one believes them, and it's just a really, really awful feeling. I was definitely one of those people before it happened to me. I was like, it would never happen to me. But I mean, being a 24-year-old and your life is in the hands of a former Olympic gymnastics coach, you think, oh my God, like, he must really know what he's doing, because he's well known for some reason. But I asked for so much advice from everybody. Why would I want to be in this position? Why would I want all this negative energy, this negative attention? Like, nobody wants that. It just really sucks that, like, I couldn't stand up for myself more. And I think that's the worst about being sexually assaulted, is like, you always feel like you could do more and more and more. Like, you just feel like your voice could be heard more, or you could have done more in that situation to protect yourself. And that's this same kind of feelings that I felt the entire time. If I had any advice to give to anyone who's been sexually assaulted or is in a position, or even in a position of power, I would just say, always speak your truth, always speak the truth, and literally tell as many people as possible what happened to you. I think that was my biggest downfall. I kept it a secret because I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. I didn't know where to turn. You just need to speak. And it sucks that it falls on your back to be the one to do so, but you'll feel so much better in the end. My message to all the women and men out there is to protect yourself as much as you can. Be willing to speak, be willing to fight for yourself. And there's nobody in this world that can make you feel inferior. I just want to say I love you guys, all of you guys out there. Stay safe.